Welcome back, everybody. This is Latin's Fight Picks. Today we will go over the UFC Fight Night, Lewis versus Nascimento in St. Louis. As usual, we will start with the prelims, the first fight, and move on to the main event. So let's start. We'll try and make this quick. First fight of the night, J.J. Aldrich versus Veronica Hardy. J.J. Aldrich, 5'5", 67.5-inch reach, 13 wins, 6 losses, 31 years old. Veronica Hardy, 5'4", 64-inch reach, 8 wins, 4 losses, 28 years old. Metrics are similar. Aldrich will be the larger girl in there. She's going to have a reach advantage, 1-inch height advantage, and 3.5-inch reach advantage. J.J. Aldrich, she's really disappointed me in quite a few fights. She seems like sometimes she's just so skilled, and then sometimes she just seems like she might be giving up. Just especially if she's being outmatched. Now, having said that, that has been against high-level competition. So I don't think necessarily that she's been exposed. I think she has fought high-level competition. I think overall she did pretty good against Chesterfield. What do I call that girl? Chesterfield. Blanchfield, yeah. So, she was doing really well against her. Mind you, it was earlier on in Blanchfield's career. She did get caught with a choke, but up to that point, she was doing pretty good. I think she did really well. Actually, I bet against her, against De La Rosa. She did really well against her. Surprised at how bad De La Rosa did. And she got dominated by Lipski, but Lipski is a very, very physical fighter. And she has improved greatly, and she's the kind of girl that, she's going to impose her will on you. She will. I don't think Aldrich is at Lipski's level. Now, Veronica Hardy, she is a girl who was in the UFC and she left. Now, she didn't look very good before, and she was kind of more of a ground girl, had some good subs before, and then now she's come back for the last 2 fights, and she's actually looked really good on the feet. So she's really much faster, better striker, in and out movement. She is a smaller girl. She doesn't want to stay close until she closes the distance really quick and she lands a 1-2. So I find her very tenacious. I think she's the more high energy girl here. She generally will get the strikes off a little quicker. And I think she's okay on the ground. But if you look at her performances, they have been against really low level girls. Girls that just have come into the UFC with their first fight. So just goes to show where, UFC has her at. She's been able to beat these girls. So having said all that, you know what? I'm going to go with J.J. Aldrich. I think she has fought the better competition. I hope she's been working on a few things, and I think it's just, she's good technically. I just like to see a little more energy out of her, and just because I think Veronica Hardy's going to come in with a lot of energy. This is going to be a close fight either way. So I'm going to go with J.J. Aldrich. She is going to be a little bigger. I think everyone's bigger than Hardy, but J.J. Aldrich, when she has a little bit of a size, a little bit of a reach advantage, she does do better. She's going to be the better boxer in there. I think she's pretty good on the ground. I think she is a slight underdog. I kind of like that in this position. I think there's some recency bias with how well Veronica Hardy did with the low-level opponents. So, yeah, J.J. Aldrich is going to be the pick. Moving on, Jared Gooden versus Kevin Jusey. You know what? That one just got canceled. I just found out. So, skip that one. Charles Johnson versus Jake Hadley. Charles Johnson, 5'9", 70-inch reach, 14 wins, 6 losses, 33 years old. Jake Hadley, 5'7", 70-inch reach, 10 wins, 2 losses, 27 years old. Charles Johnson, he's the kind of guy that he's always fighting and really turning it up in the 3rd round, losing the first 2 rounds and always losing decisions. Doesn't get stopped, doesn't get submitted, always seems to be on the losing end of these decisions. But the last fight, I bet against him, and he actually really surprised me at how well he did. He did get hurt a couple of times. Against is it Amzat? The guy from Kazakhstan. Anyways, really good fighter. Johnson was able to stay in it, exchange well, and as the fight went on, got better and better. And surprisingly, even on the ground, he even took him down. He went for a takedown. and he managed to reverse positions. You know what? It seems like he also started sooner in the first round, even though he was against some pretty good competition. He started quicker, and I think that's what did it, and he won that fight. Unfortunately, I didn't bet on him, but I saw something in Johnson that fight that I haven't seen before. He's 33 years old. You don't think he can get better, but I think he got better in that fight. Now, Jake Hadley, like I bet on him on the last fight against Durden, and Durden dominated him in the wrestling. And Durden is a common opponent between these two. Now, having looked at Jake Hadley, I think he cuts a lot of weight. I think he's going to fade as that fight goes on. And he is good on the ground, but I think against Johnson, you're not going to be able to submit him. So it's going to be on the feet. Hadley's pretty good striker. Johnson's going to be the bigger man in there, even though I think Hadley cuts a lot of weight. It's in St. Louis. I think Johnson's from St. Louis. I'm going to go with Johnson. He is the underdog. There's going to be a theme here. I'm picking a lot of underdogs. I think it's going to be a lot of close fights. So Charles Johnson's going to be the pick. It's going to go to a decision. So I don't see anyone finishing anybody. So Billy Goff versus Trey Waters. Billy Goff, 5'10", 72-inch reach, 9 wins, 2 losses, 25 years old. Trey Waters, 6'5", 77-inch reach, 8 wins, 1 loss, 29 years old. Billy Goff, I bet against him last fight. He ended up coming up with a KO. He's a decent fighter, but I actually think he's being, he's a little overrated. He is the underdog in this case, so I guess they're not overrating him here. Trey Waters, he's a little underrated. I think he's got a fantastic chin. He's got a really long reach, fights long, decent on the ground. He did get submitted by a high-level Bonfim, Gabriel Bonfim, in a high-level choke. I think we shouldn't look too much into that. But at his height, at his range, and how durable he is, I can't see him losing this fight against Billy Goff. And Billy Goff needs a KO. That's how he comes back. He comes back and knocks people out. And I don't think it's going to happen in this case because Waters has too good of a chin. And I think he's a decent boxer from the outside. High-level confident Trey Waters. Do I think he's going to finish Goff? I don't know. I think it's going to go to a decision. I think Goff's pretty tough as well. Moving on, Tabitha Ricci versus Tisha Pennington. Tabitha Ricci, 5'1", 61-inch reach, 9 wins, 2 losses, 29 years old. Tisha Pennington, 5'1", 60.5-inch reach, 13 wins, 6 losses, 34 years old. It's very rare that both these girls have fought somebody their size, so this is going to be totally different for both of them. So generally, they're the smaller, quicker fighter in there. Now they're both quick and they're both small. And to be honest with you, at 5'1", I actually think Ricci's might be a little taller than 5'1", and Pennington might be a little shorter. Very close metrics, nevertheless. Pennington had a pregnancy. She's coming back for a pregnancy. That's generally girls who do that don't lose more often than they win, even though Tisha Pennington, I think, was at one point higher ranked than Ricci. Ricci coming off a loss against, what's the Canadian girl? Lupe Godinez. It's going to be a close fight. Tisha Pennington has fought high-level competition, no doubt about that. I'm feeling like it's going to be a Ricci night. I think she's going to come back. She's a little younger. Coming back at 34 against Ricci. And I think she's got something to prove after that close split decision loss against Godinez, which I picked Ricci against. So I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a split decision. I'm going to go with Ricci on this one. It's going to be a really good fight, but it's going to be high energy, little girls throwing a lot of volume, nobody knocking anybody out. It's going to go down to a decision. Moving on, Terrence McKinney versus Esteban Ribovics. Terrence McKinney, 5'10", 73.5-inch reach, 15 wins, 6 losses, 29 years old. Esteban Ribovics, 5'10", 69-inch reach, 12 wins, 1 loss, 29 years old. I mean, what are you going to say about Terrence McKinney? If he gets past the first round, Ribovics is going to win. McKinney's going to be dangerous right through. Now, Ribovics does take a lot of shots, and that's the thing. He takes a lot of punches. So is he going to be able to withstand the 1 or 2 or 3 really big, massive shots that McKinney's going to land on him? I think McKinney could take him down as well, but you see him survive against another high-level grappler just in his last fight. I can't remember his name right now. It was close a few times, and don't believe me, McKinney could get this it's going to be a wild and crazy fight. Ribovics has never been KO'd before, so I'm going to rely on the fact that he's going to survive the first round one way or another and get to the second and third and basically take McKinney out and just wear him down. And if McKinney comes out slow, that's going to be to his detriment, because I think his only shot is to knock him out or submit him in the first round. So I'm going to pick Ribovics. I mean, not a super high level confident pick, mid level, I guess. I mean, just because Ribovics is durable. If he survives, he's going to win this fight. He's got super cardio. He's going to dominate McKinney in the second and third round. Ribovics, unfortunately, does take a lot of shots, but he's never been KO'd. Really tough. Has survived on the ground. Never been submitted. Yeah, so Ribovics is going to be the pick. Next fight, Chase Hooper versus Vyacheslav Borshev. Chase Hooper, 6'1", 74 inch reach, 13 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 24 years old. Vyacheslav Borshev, 5'11", 69 inch reach, 7 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 32 years old. Chase Hooper, he moved up in weight class. He actually fought last time. I bet against him, and I think he won in a submitting Levitt. He submitted him. It was a good transition. He was actually losing the grappling scrambles until there's one scramble where Levitt for 1 second slipped up in when they were rolling around and Hooper got under his neck. And I bet against Hooper, and it was really surprising that he did win. And Levitt normally doesn't get caught by those submissions, but it did happen. On the feet, it was fairly even. Levitt with the kicks, Hooper with the punches. Recency bias. Borshev, he's been working on. He's got good submission defense. People are complaining that he keeps getting taken down. Chase Hooper is a good submitter. He can submit you if you're rolling around on the ground with him, but he doesn't necessarily take you to the ground that well. So I think Borshev is the far better striker. If it stays on the feet, he's going to really hurt Hooper. Hooper's got to try to take him down. This guy's continually working on his defense. I mean, I think what you saw last time, you're going to see something better and better out of him. I don't think Hooper is a great wrestler. I think he's great at jiu-jitsu. I'm going to go with Borshev. I think he's going to hurt Hooper. A lot of people are picking Hooper on this one. I don't, I know why, because the Borshev supposedly can get taken to the ground, and Hooper is a great BJJ practitioner. I can't see it. I think he's going to stay on the feet. I think Borshev's going to be able to good enough defense to stay on the feet, and it's going to hurt Hooper. Borshev's going to be the pick. Moving on to the main card. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Orbelis de España. Waldo Cortez Acosta, 6'4", 78 inch reach, 11 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, 32 years old. Orbelis de España, 6'6", 84 inch reach, 5 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, 35 years old. Orbelis de España got in late. He was Taekwondo practitioner, gold medalist or something from Cuba. Huge, 6'6" for the division, 84 inch reach. It's a massive reach. He's got good kicks. He's very, dexterous, dexterous. He's got high dexterity. He can get the kicks up really high. No one really knows anything about this guy. I've seen him in the regional scene. Guys he hasn't knocked out to really be able to grind on him and tire him out. So he does have a weakness to the ground. I think they put Cortez in there because he doesn't take anyone to the ground. He stays there. He's a boxer. He has to get in close, strikes. He has some kicks, mostly striking with the hands. So they've kind of set this up for this Spaniard to win this. Having said that, Cortez, I don't know. I haven't seen him get knocked out. I think he might have gotten knocked out one time, like a long time ago. But he hasn't gotten knocked down, I don't think, in MMA, I think. So I think that in MMA, he hasn't gotten knocked out. So we're going to go with the fact that he hasn't gotten knocked out. He might be able to survive this. If he survives the first round, the Spaniard's going to be in trouble. He's never been, I don't even know how many seconds. Like the one time I think he went to the first round, he was almost dead. So he's a big favorite. I'm not going to pick him, right? I faded him last time against Parisian, and I know Parisian sucks. But there was a moment in the fight where he slipped and Parisian could have possibly jumped on him, but Parisian just didn't even realize what happened and stood there and waited for Rebellious basically to jump back up. Not that Cortez would do anything on the ground anyways. But having said that, if I'm going to pick a guy who's fought, a decent amount of competition in the UFC against this guy, I'm gonna do it because I don't think he's the real deal. I think he's a little bit of a sideshow. Not that he's not good, he is. But when it comes to MMA, the moment he gets the first wrestler, he's done. So this is why Cortez is here. But having said that, whenever I wanted to fade somebody, I've always found that I'm going to fade him one fight sooner, because everybody who I wanted to fade, for example, last card, I said, yeah, I'm going to fade them now, but he's probably going to win, and the next time he's probably going to lose. I find that once I say that, they lose. Like, I should fade him sooner. So I'm going to fade him now, because when the wrestler does come, it's not going to be such great odds. And I think Cortez Acosta has paths to victory. So anyways, I'm going to low level confidence, Cortez Acosta. Now moving on, Alex Caceres versus Sean Woodson. Alex Caceres, 5'10", 73.5-inch reach, 21 wins, 14 losses, 35 years old. Sean Woodson, 6'2", 78-inch reach, 11 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 31 years old. Alex Caceres, this is he's the tallest fighter he's fought, but he has fought tall fighters almost the same height. Woodson, he's built he's built weird. He's 6'2", he's got these long arms, got this short torso, really long legs. He's hard to fight. He fights people at distance. He's a good boxer. He's really improved his ground game. I don't think he's some stellar ground guy, but he's got great defense, and now he's even putting in some offense. He's got these long arms. But any which way you look at it, I mean, Sean Woodson on the ground, I don't care, at his best day, he's not going to be beating Caceres on the ground. So that's just a fact. Caceres, he's tricky, he's slick. He's 35 years old. He's had ups, he had downs, he's had some decent fights. Sometimes you don't know how he's going to look, but he's always well measured, calm, cool, and collected, and he's like an assassin. I think Caceres is the highest level guy he's fought. I'm going to go with Caceres. He is an underdog. Woodson is fighting in his hometown, but you know what? I see some holes in Woodson's game. I think there's advantages because he is so long, and there's disadvantages because he is so long. I'm going to go with Caceres on this one. I think the Woodson might be losing a decision loss, if not a submission, to Caceres. Caceres is tricky. He's a veteran. Yeah, and he's got long arms too. Nobody's got 78-inch long arms that I've seen in this division, but Caceres has got 73.5-inch arms. I remember Woodson fought Jordan, and Jordan had 69-inch reach, and Jordan went split decision with Woodson with a 9-inch disadvantage in reach. Caceres is going to be the pick. I think he's going to do pretty good. It's going to be close. I shouldn't say that. I think it's going to be a close fight. Moving on, Diego Ferreira versus Mateusz Rebecki. Diego Ferreira, 5'9", 74-inch reach, 18 wins, 5 losses, 39 years old. Mateusz Rebecki, 5'7", 66-inch reach, 19 wins, 1 loss, 31 years old. Ferreira, obviously the age difference. He's 39 years old. He could be past his prime. He's 80 years older than Rebecki. He's 2 inches taller. He's got an 8-inch reach advantage. Ferreira is dangerous everywhere. And it seems like he's either super dangerous or he's going to get, who's going to lose. I guess like everyone else. It doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. But he's very dangerous. It seems like he beats the guys he's supposed to beat, and he loses against the guys he's supposed to lose. Now, who is Rebecki? Is Rebecki the real deal? The best guy he's fought is Loic. And Loic, I actually picked Loic, but Rebecki kicked the hell out of his legs and just crippled Loic to the point where they have to stop the fight. I think I think he ended up KOing him, but it was through the leg kicks. So having said that, here's the thing. Rebecki, tough. It's like a little bull in there, could take you down. He's terrible in submissions. He's got great powerful hooks, but he doesn't have clean striking. Ferreira, clean striking. When he goes to the ground, he's super dangerous. I don't know how Rebecki could take him down. Ferreira's going to be the guy that wants to be on the ground, I think, out of the two. I'm going to fade Ribeski, and everyone's picking Ribeski. I mean, I've never seen anyone not pick Ribeski, and if Ferreira 3 years ago, it would have been a more confident pick. But at 39 years old, I don't know if he still has it. But I think overall, he's the better fighter. I think he's more talented. I'm not saying Ribeski's not powerful. He's a powerful wrestler with big hooks, but I always find him a little too short with his reach. I think he's going to get pieced apart with a good striker, and I think he's going to be in trouble with a really good grappler. And Ferreira kind of fits this bill. And it's a huge dog shot, least confident pick. I'm picking Ferreira for the upset. No one's picking Ferreira. Either I'm looking like a genius or just a tard. So it's going to be a close fight. I went back and forth on this one. I'm not saying Ferreira's going to dominate this guy. I'm just saying as I see past the victory, and the 39 years old is not helping. I think I would be more confident if he was younger. He is 39. I don't know. I'm saying he's slipping. He's probably getting old. I'm not saying that. I still think he's good. Ferreira's going to be the pick. Alonzo Minifield versus Carlos Alberg. Alonzo Minifield, 6 feet tall, 76-inch reach, 15 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 36 years old. Carlos Alberg, 6'4", 77-inch reach, 10 wins, 1 loss, 0 draw, 33 years old. I mean, we've seen Carlos Alberg be beat before and be worn down, and I think he's learned a lot from it. I mean, this guy's good, right? He's good, he's tall. I mean, he's a model. He's got it all. Alonzo Minifield, I've seen this guy progress like crazy. He had a real ground efficiency. Now he doesn't. Now he can get back up. It's hard to hold him down. And the guys who were just relying on taking Minifield to the ground just can't do it. And he's like a bull. But the fact is that I always find him really slow. And I just don't know how he pulls these victories off. I just don't know. And last time he fought, what's his name? That one kickboxer, which I said that it was just weird how Alonzo Minifield was landing on him because the the hooks were coming in so slow. So, I mean, Alberg's a favorite for a reason. I think Minifield's big, he's strong, he's durable, he's slow. And Alberg's going to be the cleaner striker from the outside. Alberg doesn't have to do very much. Alberg is not chinny, but he has to be careful. Minifield does have some power, and he's got these weird punches that just seem to land, even though they look so slow, these big hooks. Anyways, I'm trying to remember who he fought. Justin Jacoby. And I couldn't believe Jacoby lost to Minifield. He was so much faster than him. Anyways, it was a bad fight. Some people are high on Minifield. I'm not. Alberg should be beating this guy, yeah. Moving on, Jakeem Buckley versus Nursultan Ruzibayev. Jakeem Buckley, 5'10", 76-inch reach, 18 wins, 6 losses, 30 years old. Nursultan Ruzibayev, 6'5", 76-inch reach, 34 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws, 30 years old. Nursultan Ruzibayev, 6'5". Come on, man. He's got the same reach as Buckley, but 6'5". This guy's huge. And you know what's funny is he's coming from middleweight. He just moved down. This is his first fight at welterweight. I mean, that's big questions there because he's a big guy. Jakeem Buckley had fought in middleweight, and he fought some of the high-level guys. And didn't necessarily win all of them, but he moved down because he was too short for middleweight. The funny thing is now he's fighting a 6'5" at welterweight. So he's too short in this one as well. That's funny. He's trying to get away from really tall guys, and he gets a really tall guy. So Joaquin Buckley, I have been impressed with how he's looked. He seems pretty durable. He's susceptible to this right high kick. I'd be really worried about that because of the height of Ruzibayev. Ruzibayev, I really think he's a well-rounded guy. He's really tough. He's really durable. This is a coin flip fight. I went back and forth on this one. I want to pick Ruzibayev. He is the younger guy. Well, not younger guy, but the newer guy in this. He's got a lot of experience. But Joaquin Buckley has been on a roll here, and I think this is kind of his division, and he's looked really good against other really credentialed fighters and high-level fighters, highly ranked fighters. So I'm going to go with Buckley. Not super high-level confidence, kind of mid-level confidence on this one, mid to low. Yeah, I mean, I like Ruzibayev, but I just like the way Buckley's trajectory is right now at this weight division. And he just has to be careful from the head kick, I think. I think the head kick's going to be the main thing he's got to watch out for, because he has a tendency to dip down really low, and at 6'5", that head kick's going to come in really easy over his guard. So Buckley's got to be careful on this one. Buckley's going to be the pick. Moving on. Derek Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento. Derek Lewis, 6'3", 79-inch reach, 27 wins, 12 losses, 39 years old. Rodrigo Nascimento, 6'2", 80-inch reach, 11 wins, 1 loss, 31 years old. 39 years old is what's concerning, but he seems like he still, hasn't been slipping that much. Rodrigo Nascimento is 31. He's going to be younger. He is a grappler, so Derek Lewis has traditionally been susceptible to grapplers. I don't think Rodrigo Nascimento is a super high-level grappler. I think he has a hard time taking big guys down. I think he's going to have a hard time taking Derek Lewis down. Derek Lewis is a hard guy to take down. It's only the highest-level guys that can take him down and keep him down. And Rodrigo Nascimento does fade into fights. I think Derek Lewis is going to be a high confidence pick in this one. He's going to win it either by decision or by KO. I don't see Rodrigo Nascimento manhandling this guy, taking him down, and if he is, I think Lewis can get back up. Rodrigo Nascimento is not at that level of grappling for this big man who has fought the best guys. High level confidence. Lewis should win this one. Let's move on to the board. Move that thing in closer, maybe. Oh, yeah. How'd that look? Look good? Great. All right. Again, not financial advice. Bet only what you can afford to lose. These are my picks for most to least confident. Compare to what research you've done and take what you can from this. Maybe combine it. Play it any way you like. And play at your own risk. This is gambling, guys. Hopefully it's educated gambling, but nevertheless. Moving on, Lewis, highest level confidence pick. I can't see Nascimento winning this. I've seen both fighters fight quite a bit. It's a high level confidence because I've got a pool of fights to look at. Lewis should win this. Waters, he's super tough, really tall. The guy's going to beat a lot of low level guys. He's going to have to get to upper mid level before he starts losing. I think he's going to win this fight. Alberg, he's going to be too clean of a striker, too long. Minifield, he's tough, he's gritty, he's durable. He finds a way to win. I don't think it's going to be in this case. Alberg's going to be the pick. Ribovics, I don't know. He's a high level confidence pick because he should win this fight. But is there a chance for a KO or some quick sub in the first round? Yes. So it's high level risk. But Ribovics should win this fight. He survives the first round for sure. Borshev, you know what? Hooper's this guy's going to beat the crap out of Hooper. Hooper's only chance is to take him to the ground. I think Borshev will be able to fight those off. If he does, hopefully he gets back up. It's dangerous when he gets on the ground just because Hooper is so dangerous on the ground with his submissions. So he needs to not be on the ground, period. But he is fighting a guy who doesn't have great takedowns. So he gets in close. This guy with his body work is going to destroy Hooper's body. He's tall, he's lanky. Yeah, this guy's going to hurt him. Apart from some weird falling down and submission, Borshev's going to hurt this guy. Johnson, first underdog play. You know what? Normally I've been against him with all these decisions, but I just saw him level up on his last fight. And he's fighting in his hometown. He's not going to gas. And again, I had picked him against a really high-level grappler, and I said that the transition is going to be in the second round. He's going to win the third round. He's going to lose the first round. The transition is going to be the second round. So, and that's the thing is, last fight I saw him start earlier. He turned it up earlier. So I'm going to go with that again. I'm going to go pick Johnson. I think he's going to win decision in this one. Buckley, close fight with Ruziboyev. I like Ruziboyev. I like his height. I like his length. His first fight at welterweight. Don't know what he's going to look like. Buckley looks fairly dominant in this division. Just got to watch that head kick. I think he's going to win. I even think he can take Ruziboyev down. Yeah, I think he's going to win this fight. Ricci, close fight against two little midgets. But I think she's been in the game, and Tisha Torres is coming back, and I don't think. Yeah, I think she's going to lose the first one. Tisha Torres, it's going to be a close fight, but Ricci's going to be the pick. I think she needs to make up for the last loss, and now it is her Tisha Torres' first fight back. Aldrich, second underdog play. I mean, it's going to be a close fight with Hardy. It's going to go down to a split decision. I'm going to go with the underdog. I think Aldrich is going to have better boxing. I think Hardy might be quicker the in and out, but not necessarily with the hands. And up to now, she's beaten girls that are slower with their hands. And Aldrich has got pretty good hands. Caceres, plus 185, another underdog. I think he's going to beat Woodson. I don't think Woodson, I don't know. He has looked great. He has improved. But Caceres has been in there with the best of them. And he's beaten some really high-level guys. Caceres, I think, can either go to a decision and win, but most likely I could see Caceres winning by a sub. Cortez Acosta, yeah, I'm just not going to go jump on that Despania hype train. I think if Costa gets past the first round, anything can happen. Plus 205, going to go with Acosta. Ferreira, highest gamble. He's 39 years old. He is the better fighter. I think he has fought the really good competition and beaten really good competition, has come close to beating really good competition. His age is the only question mark. I think Rebeski is too short, too stocky. I just don't see him doing well against Ferreira's long lankiness. He takes Ferreira down, he's in trouble. Ferreira on the feet, I think he's going to be faster. Ferreira's going to be the pick. Low level confidence, and you know what? And here, and these ones I bet on all of them, but individually, just because the ones that are unbettable, I actually had picked the underdog. So yeah, and again, create some parlays and figure out what you want to do, and maybe what you agree with. I gotta admit though, these cards are the most volatile cards. These cards you can make the most money at, but these cards are the most volatile cards. The fact is that all these UFC 300s and 301s and whatever else, those normally go the way they're supposed to go, and we got a high pool of resources and fights to see most of the fighters, to see how they do against different fighters, grapplers, strikers, and everything else. So generally, you have a really good impression of who the fighter is. These fighters, not so much generally on these fight night cards. So a lot of underdogs generally win. You know, it's a little more volatile. So it could be good, it could be bad. I mean, I'm seeing on the internet people are all over the place. I know, like everyone who I've seen, nobody has picked Ferreira. And after I did my fight tape and I decided to go with Ferreira, and then I found out no one's picked Ferreira, they're like, fuck. Like, are you kidding? Nobody. So, but then again, this also reminds me of that fight with what's that? That English girl who fought that French girl, and nobody picked the French girl. She was like plus 300 something. What's her name? I can't remember. Let me think. Who's that girl? I got it here. Hold on. It was a huge, and nobody had picked this girl. Nobody. And I'm there like, oh man, I think she's gonna be able to win this. And she dominated her. Where is she? Sorry guys, I'm torturing you because it's driving me crazy. Mullins, yeah, Mullins. So No Mess Mullins. Everyone picked No Mess Mullins. Nobody picked the French girl. And I said, you know what? This French girl can do this. And she ended up winning, and decisively too. So, nevertheless, thank you very much for joining me. If you like the content, hit like. Otherwise, subscribe if you want to get notified next time I put out some material. Good luck on the fights. Hopefully this all works out. And we will see you next week on the recap. Hopefully on the recap. But I should have more time next week. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. And good luck on the fights.